Hi, I'm Caleb. I'm a cardist, and I'm interviewing other cardists to see how and why they create, so we can learn how to grow as a community. Welcome to Cardistry Talk. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cardistry Talk. This is episode 31, and today I am joined by Manuela Rud. Did I pronounce that correctly?
It's Manuela Rud, but it's okay.
Okay. I usually try to ask that before, and I forgot this time. But I'm super excited to have her on the show today. She is an amazing cardist in the community. I mean, she's been all over the place. I'm sure you guys have seen her in CardistryCon videos, etc. And her padiddle is obviously amazing. And we're super happy to have you on the show today.
Well, for me, it's a pleasure to be here today. So thanks to you for all of this.
So just to open things up, I always ask on my stories on Instagram what people want to hear about. And an overwhelming majority of people, just a tidal wave of people, wanted to know if you had any tips on how to do padiddle better or how to learn padiddle.
Well, that's, I think, the question that I get asked the most, and it's about paddle tips. I think the main tip is actually practice a lot. I spent like the whole year, couple years back, only practicing that with one hand, with two hands, like the switch in the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, to my mind, there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube and they are all good. But my main advice is actually practice a lot. I mean, that is the thing that will get you like progress a lot. I don't have any tip related to cars like, oh, put your fingers, no tip, that tip,
Mm-hmm.
just the normal thing. And then practice a lot of hours, a lot of times, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Practice. That's my tip.
Yeah, surprise! You got to practice it a lot. But no, thank you for that. There is obviously a lot of tutorials, but it is a move that a lot of people struggle with, and I'm not even going to attempt to try to learn it because I don't want to put that time in.
Tutorial is very, very good, but I don't know. Tobias like makes the move so easy, and getting padil consistently is very, very hard. So my advice is practice a lot every time.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of this stuff is muscle memory, obviously.
Yeah.
And then my next question, when I was researching you for this, I noticed at one point you posted your logo, and your logo is actually supposed to be I don't know if it's necessarily a ninja, but apparently you have a little bit of background in Taekwondo, which I didn't know about, and I feel like a lot of other people probably didn't know about. So would you be able to kind of elaborate on that, how you kind of got into it, and how the logo was kind of made?
Yes. Well, in fact, the logo was made by a Russian guy who the name is Smoklin Vladislav. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but his work it's amazing. And he gave me like a form, like to fill, and about my life and my interests and that kind of things. And when I was 7 years old, I started practicing martial arts, especially Taekwondo. I mean, the only one that I practiced was Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it is my passion actually. And I practiced that for around 10 years. And then when I was 18, I moved from my country was not in the capital, it was like very few people. I live in Uruguay, and well, when you want to move to the university, you need to travel to the capital, which is Montevideo, which is where I am right now. And here I stopped practicing, not because I didn't like it. I still love Taekwondo, but my academy is not here, and I really like the community which is in my academy. So here I just go to the gym, which is really nearby, and it's easier. But I love martial art. I practice it Taekwondo for around 10 years, and it is, I think, my passion. I mean, for me, cars and taekwondo are in the same level, or cars a little more, but
Mm-hmm.
I love them both. So when I tried to, when Vladislav was trying to create my logo, the main idea was like to be a ninja, but with cars. So I don't know. I really like the logo. He gave me like more options, but the ninja one was like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only other person I can think of that kind of does martial arts that also does cardistry is Shano off the top of my head.
Yes.
But I'm always interested to ask what people's other hobbies outside of cardistry because I feel like there's oftentimes a lot of overlap. Um, have you ever found that like stuff that you've learned from Taekwondo has ever like helped you in cardistry?
To be honest, no. For me, they are totally different things. I will not kick a card like Sean. I really like what he does, but I don't see myself doing that. I think it would look very masculine, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me, Taekwondo is like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very, very. It's something personal to me. Cars, I am not afraid. I will show it to everybody, but when I practice, it's like my mind is in another side. Let's say.
And then my other question for you, from the people from Instagram, was if you had any tips to perform cardistry smoothly. I know a lot of people were complimenting your mantra. They were saying it was like one of the best in the games. This is what someone directly said, which I thought was fun. But do you have any tips for people that want to perform more smoothly in mantra or just in cardistry in general?
I think the best tip I always say it is practice a lot. I mean, that's one thing that I learned from Taekwondo. Taekwondo makes you to have a lot of discipline in the things that you want to do. I forgot to tell, but I am a black belt in Taekwondo. I am totally fun, and my teacher was very very strict. So I have like that discipline mind. So for me, when it comes to course, it's something like not similar but not very difficult, like in the middle. It's like I prefer to know only 10 moves but doing perfectly than know 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't care, but do it so. So my very first tip is, first of all, learn the basics. That's the thing that I think that is good to know, like Chalier, Revolution, Springs, some aerials. That is great. But second, try to see moves that you like to perform. For example, like cuts that are not from mine. Like I watch the overview. For example, Barolos, Mantra, L cuts, Retrigger, Bella Rev, Very Bad Habit. That kind of squeeze, like kind of that kind of move. Like I really like them, so I really took the time like to learn them correctly. So my tip is that like choose the move that you will like to perform like extremely smoothly and practice them every day. And I think with doing that, you will like be very good at that move. I don't know if I explain myself well.
No, I think that's good. I think there's a difference too between people. Like you have people like you that like to kind of perfect things. I feel like the verts are that way as well. And then you have other creators that kind of free flow go through things and like once they've made something, they're kind of done with it. And there's not necessarily a good or right way to go about it, but I do really respect like the people that take the time to perfect something and like make it the best that it can be because that's just awesome.
I'm not saying that my way to do things is the correctly. No, I'm not saying that. I say why I do. I prefer to know very few things, but doing them perfectly, and that learn a lot of things that are like, I don't know, like so. That's my view. And or also when it comes to creating moves, I prefer like to have less creations, but be things that I really like, and I know that I can like do them correctly. For example, this cut. I really like this cut.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to have only one that have like, I don't know, 20 that are like so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's my view.
It makes
I'm
it
not saying
easy.
that they correct. I say that is my view.
Yeah. I think everybody kind of understands that there's not necessarily a correct way to go about doing any of this. This is all new, and everybody has their own style. I will say, like, what's really nice about learning certain moves, like down pat, is that like when it does come time to record for something, it's a lot easier then you can just whip it out, do it first, second time, and that's always way nicer than having to sit through to get that one take that's perfect, you know? I know we talked a little bit on the creative process just now, and I would like to go a little bit deeper on that because that's one of my favorite topics, and we always go over it here on the show. But when it comes to trying to create a move, is there any process that you go through, or what kind of happens when you do begin to create a move?
Mm, well, that is a very hard question, but I
Yeah.
think that I try to find inspiration outside cardistry. I mean, I when I create this move, which is like the untouched mode, I say it.
Hmm.
Actually, well, I know that I create this move in cardistry, but like these 5 blocks really exist. I mean, I remember that my brother was in the internet playing a game, and I saw that form, and immediately I think, oh, I could do that with cars.
Hmm.
So I think the inspiration outside of cardistry is very, very important. So I think that's my view. And then like try to know when you like something, why you like it. I mean, if I see a video, now I'm trying to create a lot of reels in Instagram. That's the new thing that I'm trying to do it. And for example, one video that really like, I think the word is hook people, like people really like that reel, is one which I am like with a lot of t-shirts and cars. They say colors, I wanna know.
Hmm.
I sing horrible, but the video is okay. And well, I saw a similar video in a girl, I think it's from the US. Her name is Sophie Outfit, something like that. And she was doing that, but with clothes. So I like, I don't know if this kind of the creation that you asked me, but I think that I that inspired me like to create that video. For example, that I could do something similar, like changing my clothes, but with cars. So that video appear. So my main creative process is like to search and pay a lot of attention that what is happening outside of the car world, let's say.
Hmm. No, I think that's a great piece of advice. And I know like Kevin Ho has talked about this a lot. I've talked with him a little bit about how basically everything that we do is kind of mixed or taken from some other source. For me, I say this constantly, but I always try to relate stuff from soccer into cardistry or into cards because that's something really close to me and that's something that transfers somewhat easily. That's actually why I asked you about if you had picked anything up from Taekwondo into cardistry because I kind of wanted to segue into that because I really love that as a topic. Um, and like you said, just taking stuff from things outside of cardistry is great. I know for me and a lot of other people in the community, we're like totally focused on cardistry, like it's like an obsession almost. But it's really smart to look outside of cardistry when you want to create or make something new.
Yes, I think that's at least it's very interesting. I think that you only focus on cars, it will be very difficult like to create something like visual or interesting, let's say. Um, I don't know. I think that you search for inspiration outside, it will be far more easy and let's say visually appealing
Hmm.
um, with cars than only cardistry, like you film it only your hands. And I love that kind of videos, but I think that if you want like, I don't know, like to spam to more people, maybe if you find like inspiration outside and that kind of thing is easier and better. My view.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, you take things that you like from the other from outside of cardistry. Like especially I know a lot of people take shapes and geometry, architecture, that type of stuff when they're creating things. There are things that are like that are universal. Like when you do like a padiddle or a pirouette, there's something very satisfying about the spin motion. And there's always something satisfying about a spin motion, whether it's a top or not, or a card. Um,
Yes.
so so taking those things that are like visually appealing outside of cardistry and then introducing it is it's fantastic. Everybody should do it. Strongly recommend. Um, okay, so thank you for answering that. My next kind of talking point that I would love to hear your perspective on. And something I've been thinking about a lot lately is just kind of women in cardistry. And for me specifically, I'm curious about how we can get more women potentially into cardistry because it is very skewed towards men. What is it like being a woman in this community, and how do you think we could potentially get more participation from women?
Well, before speaking, I will say that I will try to use the exact words because my view on that it's very different. I mean, and I don't know if I will explain myself clear, but I will try to do my best.
Mm-hmm.
My background was in martial arts. I was the only girl in the martial art class.
Mm-hmm.
Then it appeared another friend, and but we are free in like a lot of room with men. And when it comes to cars, it happened the same. So for many times I was thinking that and now I'm in business. I like there are more boys than girls in the class, let's say. So sometimes I think that it's like me, like my personality. For example, I have a lot of friends, uh, girls, I mean, that um, they like have another interest, which I also have, like music, clothes, outfits, dance. I love dancing also. I love singing, but I sing horrible. But and I also dance horrible. I only do cars and taekwondo correctly. The other things, like I like them, but my view is that. So my view, I didn't tell my view. My view is that I think there are kind of personalities that tend to like certain things. Like, I'm not saying that I am the only one in the world. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that maybe what the community and girls like me that do cards need to do is like to try to expose that more. Because if you cardistry or magic, cardistry, taekwondo, that kind of things, comics, um, boxing, I don't know, that kind of things are not supposed that girls need to do. So
Mm-hmm.
if someone like don't post it or don't see it in somewhere, maybe never you will think that you could do that. That's my view. That it depends a lot on your personality, and you need to see it somewhere, like to introduce you to that topic. So because if not, it will be very difficult, like to have. I don't know how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I explain myself well because it's very, even in Spanish it's difficult to explain this. Imagine in English.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally
Sorry.
understand how it would be difficult or how it is. It's a sensitive topic. Um, from my point of view, I really want to see more, I guess you could say, role models. I think it's important for women to not only see necessarily cardistry, but to see a woman doing cardistry for them to be interested in that, to be more interested potentially. That's why I really love like what you're doing in the community, what Justine from Co-ed Adventures and other women are doing. I always want to try to highlight that, and I'm trying to focus on getting more of you into these interviews because I think that will hopefully help out. Um, but yeah, I think it's going to be really important for younger girls or women to see kind of what they could become essentially. You know what um, they could potentially to have like just a role model, like I was saying.
Yes. In fact, I don't know, but I think that girls, like I am, look, what I'm trying to do now is like to expose my face, my Latin face on Instagram, and also try to speak in more in Spanish, because when I start something that I hate, because I will tell you the truth about this. When I start cardistry, everything was in English, and I like English, but I prefer Spanish.
Yeah,
I prefer Spanish because it's my mother language. That's why. And I remember that when I first like watch, I learned English mostly because of magic and cardistry. That's why I learned English, and I speak kind of well. But I'm trying to like to when I feel myself like to show my face, to show my skills, and to speak in Spanish, because I think that is something that we need to do, like to grow the Hispanic community. Every Cardist, you go to Cardistry Con, and almost all the people are from the US, Europe, and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people are from Latin America, and I love Latin America. I love Argentina, I love Uruguay, I love Brazil, I love Chile, I love Colombia. Well, Colombia is not in Latin America, but something like that. I
Mm-hmm.
love Spanish people. Is not. I love like the that kind of countries
Mm-hmm.
culture, and I really want more people from there. That's why now, because a lot of times I was like scared, let's say, because oh, I want to be part of the community, but I don't speak that language, so I will not be part of the community. So every time I post, I wrote in English, that kind of things, and I want to change that. I really like English, I really like the community, but I want a bigger community with Hispanic people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that also that I'm trying to like to speak more in Spanish, because it's my language. Sometimes I feel that I speak like kind of good English, and then I see my video, I say, English, that verbs are not in the good, like, I don't know how to say it, but like took, to have, had, no sé, and then something more, like the
Mm-hmm.
time of verbs.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think everybody, hopefully everybody wants Cardistry to grow outside of where it is right now. I did notice like at one point there was a switch in your Instagram profile where you started to post only in Spanish, and
Yeah.
that explains why. That's great. Um, and I think it's really important for people from Latin America and those places to have a source that's specifically like for them. So that's great. I'm that's awesome. That's all I gotta say. um, so keep doing what you're doing. It's great. Since I'm only exposed to Cardis from the United States and kind of have an idea of how popular it is in the US, I'm curious how popular cardistry is in Uruguay and places like that.
In magic here in Uruguay, we have a very good magician, which is like amazing, who is Daniel K. He is a magician. He's really good. He's my friend. He always helped me with a lot of things. And in the magic community here in Uruguay, we are like 70 people, let's say, and we consider a lot. Like in my country, the number of the people who live here is 3 million. So we are very few people. So that kind of people, like in the magic community, we consider that is a lot of people. And when I first started cardistry in when I was 14, something like that, I started magic when I was 12, but cardistry I started when I was 14. So it was in the 2014, because I was born in the 2000. I don't know how to
2000.
2000.
2000. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. So I started in the 2014 cardistry, and I thought first that I was the only one, because I wrote in WhatsApp in the magic community, hey, someone here do card flourishes, and kiri, no one. So I thought I was the first, but then I realized due to YouTube, sorry, that it was another guy who got in the Fontaine trials, Fede Ferriño.
Mm.
He's really, really good, and now he's my age also, and we like meetups and jumps now often, but he's a really nice guy, and the community here in Uruguay like grew a lot, and grew because of Fede, and also me, because we are like the pioneers, let's say. And
Mm.
now I think we are 10, which is an enormous number. For me, it's like 10 cars in Uruguay. So I'm really happy with that. And also, I don't know, I hope that more people came to Cardistry in my country, because it will be very fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. You said you basically, I don't know what the word for 5 times is, but has grown it 5 times, even if it's from just 2 to 10. That's great. So at the end of the show, I like to do what I call the rapid round of questions, and that is just 3 minutes. And the goal is to answer as many questions as possible.
Okay.
Are you ready for this game?
Super ready.
Super ready. I will start the timer and we can get this show on the row. So my first question I have here is just simple: Coke or Pepsi?
Coca.
Have you ever broken a bone?
What's that?
Um, the
Ah, yes, yes, yes. The two arms. The
two
two
arms.
arms.
Yeah, yeah. Me as well. Both my arms. Describe your perfect day.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure that I will eat meat. Maybe I will go with my friends to dance. Obviously, I will do a lot of cardistry and cardistry con ready.
There you go. Cardistry con with some meat and some dancing. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
What is your favorite TV show at the moment?
Grey's Anatomy.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
If an actress portrayed you in a movie, who would you want it to be?
It needs to be female.
Not necessarily.
Oh, Harvey Specter from
Okay.
Suits.
Do you have a favorite type of food?
Yes, meat.
That makes sense. Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Do pineapples belong on pizza?
Pineapple.
Okay. Do you have a favorite deck at the moment?
Yes, this one.
Or this?
Yes.
Um,
Bicycle Rainbow, but I don't have them here.
What is your favorite unoriginal move? So a move you haven't done.
What do you do? By Sherry.
Makes sense. Do you have a favorite musician or band?
I like Morat from Colombia.
All right. What else we got? If you could have coffee with any Disney character, who would it be?
Mickey.
And then, do you have a favorite restaurant?
A favorite what?
Food restaurant chain.
Yes, in my country, a barbecue. Like the name is called Uruguay Natural, but they serve like meat.
All right. That was the rapid round of questions. Manuela, thank you for being on the show. What I like to do at the end of the show is what I say is roll out the close-up pad. So that's just my way of saying, is there anything that you would like to promote or any last nugget you would like to leave the audience with?
For me, it was an honor to be here, and I don't have anything to promote. Like, if you want to follow me on Instagram to see me speaking in Spanish, I'm doing cardistry, and nothing else.
All right. As usual, guys, I'll have links to all of her stuff in the description if you guys want to check out her stuff, if somehow you don't know about it. Thank you for being on the show. I hope everybody gained a little bit of information, had some fun, and we'll see you guys later. Peace. Bye.